Hi there, welcome to another hour of smooth jazz and 1990s R&B with your favorite radio DJ, DJ Patty. No, I'm just totally kidding. Yo, welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a tour of my new gravel bike, particularly my race setup that I did for the Midwest Classic, which is the Rough Road 100, which is a road race here about an hour and a half outside of Chicago, and it's a mixed terrain with both road and gravel. So in this video, guys, we're going to talk about the setup that I use particularly for this race, and we are going to spend a little bit of extra time on these lovely ENVE G23 gravel wheels because today's video is sponsored by the Pros Closet. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the Pros Closet is an online retailer that sells a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned wheels, frames, components, anything you can think of. And what's really great about the Pros Closet is they have a really great selection of hard to find wheels that I like. So shout out to ENVE for sending me out these wheels to try out for the next couple of months. And they also will be running a promotion very soon. And that promotion is you'll get $100 off orders of $1,000 or more, plus free shipping on everything. And they also are offering up to $300 off a selection of bikes. Now, I'll have all of those details down in the description down below. And if you are new to my channel, my name is Patrick Lino, and I am a cyclist here in Chicago who builds bikes, who does bike reviews. And if you've ever ran into me out on the road and I've forgotten your name, my apologies, as it's not personal and it's not intentional. It's just because I'm famous now, and so I can't remember everyone's name. I'm just kidding. Now, the Rough Road 100 here, it's a really famous road race here outside of Chicago here. It draws a large crowd, about 800 people. Now, I will have a separate video race breakdown on that race later, but today we're just going to be talking about the bike and the particular setup that I ran for this race. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about these awesome ENVE G23 gravel wheels, because these things are amazing. If I had the money to buy them, I would definitely have these for my everyday gravel wheels. So these are ENVE's Premier gravel wheels. They are 25 millimeters deep. Internal width is 23 millimeters. External width is 31.5. They are, of course, hookless, and I am running the Chris King version of the hubs. Alrighty, boys and girls, let us get some real world weight on these ENVE G23 gravel wheels. Shout out to Marvin Gaye. This is one of Marvin Gaye's live performances at the London Palladium. First up is the rear wheel. Now this is with rim tape installed as well. Alrighty, so for the rear wheel we have 744 grams. You guys see there like so. And for the front wheel, again, rim tape installed, 627 grams. So plus 627 grams gives us a total of 1,371 grams for the set. Not bad considering these have a wider internal width and they are carbon and they're made for gravel. Pretty robust if you ask me. So let's continue. Now, if you guys have been following this channel over this last year or so, you know that up until now, I did not have any sort of gravel bike, not even gravel wheels. So when I was able to try out these wheels courtesy of the Pros Closet, of course I had to go with some of the best wheels out there, and I wanted to see if it really made a difference out on the road. Now for this race, because it is 100 kilometers long, it's very important for me to choose the right set of wheels and tires for this race. And I have to say that for these wheels, being that they're ENVE, of course, these are some of the top of the line wheels out there. These wheels are phenomenal. They are absolutely phenomenal. They handle rough roads with no problem. Of course, they're very, very light, being that they're just above 1,300 grams. These are about as good as you can get. And I really like that they are hookless, and having an internal width of 23 means that you are able to run a wide variety in widths of tires. And that's why with these wheels, I was running the Specialized Roubaix Pro 32C with tires, which definitely was the right choice for this race. So yeah, guys, I really love these wheels. Of course, they are pricey, but you are getting everything that you would expect in a top of the line wheel coming from ENVE. Now let's move on to the rest of the bike. So the frame you see here, this is a courtesy of Yeoleo. This is their brand new gravel bike for 2022. This is the Yeoleo G23 frame set. Now I will also have a separate video for this frame as well. I will take you through the build process and share my overall experiences with Yeoleo as well. Moving on to the group set, we are running sort of a hybrid of Ultegra R8000 as well as R7000. So the levers and the calipers are R7000, which is the 105 tier. Then everything else is R8000 Ultegra. Now moving on to the drivetrain and the gearing. So I am running a 50-34 crank out front, and out back I'm running an 11-34 cassette. Now generally this race is mostly flat, but being that you are on gravel and there were a couple of uphill pinches, and there actually were a couple of straight up hills as well, and I actually used all of the gearing on all sides of this. So I was in my 34-34 gear, and also was in my 11-50 gearing, and this definitely was the right choice. I think if I had stayed towards the front of the race, which I'll discuss this in my race breakdown video later, I think I probably could have even gone with a 52-36 up front, but the 50-34 worked just fine, and I think for keeping this setup for my gravel bike is going to be the best choice moving forward. Going back to the tires really quickly, I had them pumped up to about 55 psi for the road and the gravel, but I ended up dropping them down to probably about 45 or so when I got to some of the harsher pavement, because I realized that the PSI I was running was way too high. Moving on to the pedals, I am running Yeoleo road pedals. Now you're probably wondering why I didn't go with mountain pedals and shoes. It's simply because it's more or less a road race. About 60-65% of the race is on road, and I wouldn't be unclipping throughout the race at all, so there's really no need to run mountain pedals. The power meter I'm running here is the 4eyes single-sided crank arm based power meter. It worked really well, no issues, no dropouts, nothing like that. The carbon saddle that I'm seeing, or that you guys are seeing here, is courtesy of Prime Bike Components. This probably was the wrong saddle for my gravel bike. It's a little bit too narrow, and it is quite firm, and it does kind of tax a little bit on the booty. Oh, by the way, total weight for everything without pedals for this bike is 8 kilograms. Now moving on to what I would say is probably the biggest game changer for this race setup, and it's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video. Now I ended up at the last minute, like the day before this race, I ended up running a top tube bag, and the reason why I did this is because for the race it was pretty cold the day of, and there was a chance of rain later on in the day. It was like 40 degrees the whole entire race, the whole entire 3.5 hours, and I knew that because I was wearing thick gloves that I wouldn't be able to easily grab all the nutrition that I would need like every 30 or 45 minutes. And so even though yes, there's going to be a little bit of drag and you're going to lose a little bit of aerodynamic performance, it was more important that I could have all of my food, my nutrition, my phone, everything in an easy to reach place, because I knew if I kept it in the back of my jersey, especially with such thick gloves on, that I would not be able to eat or think about eating as regularly as I did during this race. So yeah, for 65 miles, you probably don't need to use one of these, but for me and for my setup, this was definitely the way to go. I have to say that this tire and wheel combo just really worked for this race. It worked really well. It's definitely going to be a combo I'm going to be using for these next few months. So again, thank you to the Pros Closet for letting me try out these wheels. And yeah, I can't stress enough how important wheels are, whether you're on gravel and even whether you're out on the road with a regular road bike. Wheels make a big difference. And in this case for me, you know, especially for someone who's used to running super deep depth wheels like 65 millimeters deep and up, it was refreshing to try something that was way more shallow of a depth, yet still had all the benefits that I was looking for and things that I would be expecting in a gravel bike setup, which is of course road compliance and just really feeling like these things are just bulletproof and you can just bomb through mud, gravel, grass, road, anything that you can think of. These wheels and this tires worked really well. Setting up the tubeless wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely going to be the way to go. In fact, that I think I like this tubeless setup so much that I might end up converting all of my road wheels to tubeless as well. I think that's about it for now, guys. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down below, and I will check you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.